Happy Monday, everybody. Today, our announcements, we're going to be talking about our live class schedule. So for this week, we are adding Monday at 11:45 a.m., Wednesday at 4:30 p.m., and again, Friday at 11:45 a.m. To log in, guys, you just have to go to your Mind-Body accounts and log in as you normally would. Remember, you have to sign up 30 minutes. There's a closing window for 30 minutes before a class. So you have to sign up at least 30 minutes in advance to get into the classes. It's all done over Zoom. We send you a link. We've been having some awesome classes so far. So definitely join in. Also, as an announcement, this Thursday at 1 p.m., we're going to be doing another live class through the Wilfrid Laurier system. So we'll put up a post on that on our Instagram and on our website so you guys can log in for that. It's a 30-minute express class. It'll be a lot of fun, and we're going to see some unfamiliar faces in that class because, again, it's also going to be including the Laurier community. So lots of fun, looking forward to that. And also, guys, keep your feedback coming for the class times. We put up a survey on our website, as many of you know, to see what times would be the best for everyone. And overwhelmingly, 11:45 a.m. and 4:30 p.m. were the two favorite class times. Keep the feedback coming as we go. We might ask for different class times, see if there's any other times that might work for you guys. So just keep your eyes peeled on that. Keep voting to let us know what you want. We'll pass it over to Eddie for the workout.
Okay, workout today, 5 rounds. This is similar to like a DT, if you're familiar with the DT workout, which is a great barbell workout. If you don't have the a barbell at home, that's fine. That's why you see the numbers where it says 6 and 6, or 9 and 9, and 12 and 12. So if you're using kettlebell, odd object, backpack, or whatever it is, you're gonna do 6 push jerks on one side, then 6 on the other side. Then for the clean, same thing. 9 on one side, 9 on the other side. Deadlifts, 12 on one side, 12 on the other side. However, if you want to do it with the barbell, go for it, do it with the barbells, but you're going to add these numbers together. So it'd be 12, 18, and 24 for your reps. Okay, so because the reps are a little bit higher, it's not as heavy as a DT style workout, where if you are using a barbell, stick to about a 95, 65 pound prescribed weight. Always make sure you're comfortable with your weight. So that's kind of a barbell reference, a kind of guidance. But if you're using an odd object, or you're thinking about that dumbbell kettlebell, use a 24 kilo kettlebell or 50 pound dumbbell for the guys, 16 kilo kettlebell for the ladies, or 35 pound dumbbell if you're using the dumbbell. Okay, have fun with this one. This is it's gonna be a fun one. This one you're shooting for about 3 minutes a round, so 15 minutes to get her done. Okay, I'm going to pass it back to Chris for the afterburner.
All right, so for the afterburner, we're starting off with a stretch. So the pigeon stretch, great for the glutes, great for the hips. One of the regular ones we've been doing. It is overall fantastic for you all to get loose. And then we're doing 60 seconds per side of a glute and hip activation. So we put strengthening on the board. We're actually teaching you guys how to activate certain muscle groups. We're getting that warmed up after as an active recovery style drill. We look forward to showing you that one in the afterburn.
Okay, let's get ready to warm up here. Pick a Metcon, or not Metcon, sorry, more conditioning activation that you have available. So maybe it's rowing for 2 minutes, maybe it's going for a quick jog around the block, grabbing a skipping rope, some jumping jacks. You want to be working about 2 minutes. So whatever you're picking, guys, start with that, then get into the 3-round warm-up that we're going to show you here. First movement, you're going to start off with the single-legged deadlift with a crossbody. I'm going to get doing a couple here, guys. Notice as he goes down, balance is everything. Don't worry about your range of motion. Keep your balance first, because if you keep your balance, then your next repetition, you'll be able to go a little bit deeper. Now you can challenge yourself with the crossbody by crossing over a lot, or you maybe go down first, so a regular single-legged deadlift, and when you get to the bottom, pause, get that balance, then cross over, okay? Where, depending on where you're at, pick the right progression that allows you to work on that balance. You're gonna activate the hamstrings, you're gonna activate different muscle groups, guys, in this movement, but make sure you're chasing the balance, okay? Once you've done 5 on both sides, then you're gonna go into your high pull, the hang position. So, just slightly wider with the shoulders for your heels. You're gonna dip down. When you come up, you're gonna drive the hips. When you drive the hips, really squeeze your glutes, pop your hips. 2, then drive your elbow up to the ceiling without shrugging your shoulder. So no shrug in the shoulder, high elbow, which will allow you to retract your shoulder blades. So I'm gonna let Yash do a couple here in a row. And notice how he's got that hip pop, that timing, that coordination happening, getting himself ready for those cleans that are coming up in the workout. Once you've done 10 on both sides, then you're gonna finish off with some upper body activation by going into a strict press. On that strict press, again, you're warming up your upper body. You're gonna press that object overhead. As you press it overhead, keep that elbow locked out. Do not shrug the shoulders. So activate the muscles here, guys, your lat, your serratus, on that overhead position. When you come down, if your elbow flares out too much, you're missing the activation here, guys. So elbow should be tucked in slightly to help you activate those lats. So we're gonna go for 5 strict presses on both sides. Really trying to emphasize that lat activation on your press and on your descent. Okay, getting going for 3 rounds today in your warm up. Have fun with this. We'll see you in the workout. Surprise, we're back. I missed one thing. I mentioned the 5 strict presses, but I forgot you gotta add 5 push presses. So then you're gonna add that dip. Then out of that dip, you're gonna drive through the heels, pop those hips, drive that object overhead without that shoulder shrug. So your warm up, just to clear it up, you start with 5 single-legged deadlifts, crossing over, 10 hang high pulls, then 5 strict presses, followed by 5 push presses on that side before you repeat that on the other side. Okay, going for 3 rounds. We'll see you in the workout.
Okay guys, so we ended off the warm up with some push presses. We're gonna get into the push jerks next. So if you guys aren't comfortable with this push jerk and you want to just stick to push presses in the workout today, that's totally fine, but we'll go over the mechanics anyways on the jerks. So with the jerk, it actually involves a re-dip in your catch. So in slow motion, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to do that dip, then you're going to extend that hip up nice and quick, using the hips to draw the object up, and then as that object's on the way up, you drop back down into your dip to catch it. It's really important here, guys, to make sure the weight does not go into the toes completely on the dip or on the catch. That's one of the common mistakes we're seeing. Focus on staying on your heels and midfoot with most of the weight through that progression. Yeah, if you want to face that way from the side view, see, people can watch that re-dip, so just do a couple of those re-dips. So a dip, drive up and catch, stand it back up. Try that one more time. Awesome, stand it back up. Now, another common error we see here on this movement, guys, is before you stand up, you drop the arm down. So he's in the dip, and now he's standing up and dropping that kettlebell back down to his shoulder as he's standing. Gotta make sure you do the re-dip and catch, stand all the way up, then bring that kettlebell or dumbbell down. After we're done 6 of those per side, we're gonna go for 9 hang cleans. If you're doing these with a dumbbell, people find it a little bit easier technique-wise. With the kettlebell, you don't want that bell of the object flipping over and hitting you on the wrist. So one of the tips that really helps us figure that out is keeping the round part, the bell of the kettlebell, always pointing down. So as you do your dip, you're gonna pull that kettlebell back, drive that hip and elbow up, and then as it's coming, you're turning that wrist. So we'll see one more in slow motion here. As you come up, you turn that bell, catching it back in that dip. Maybe show a couple more at real time here for the hangs. Great. Looks really good, guys. Notice how Yash is catching it in that fully standing position. If you want to catch it in the dip, you can as well to absorb that bell just a little bit more. Stand it up, then bring that kettlebell back down. After you do 9 of those per side, you're going to do 12 deadlifts per side. So again, weight's going to be in the heels on this movement. You're going to push that butt back, trying to keep the knees in line with the toes or slightly out, back and chest up, nice and flat, and pushing from the heels to stand it back up. We're gonna go for 12 on one side, 12 on the other side. Enjoy the workout today, guys. We will see you for the afterburner.
Okay, hopefully you had a good workout, got that done under 15 minutes. Now it's time to cool off and get some glute stretching and activation. So starting off with the pigeon pose here, guys. We're gonna go for 60 seconds aside. You're actually gonna start in that high plank, so that push position. He's gonna drive his knee up towards his wrist. His heel is in line, in his case, in line with his knee. Now, if you don't have that flexibility, that's fine. You can lower that heel down a bit. I know sometimes myself, if I have my heel a little higher, I create a little bit of impingement in my hip, so I gotta find that right position to not feel that impingement. So play around with it based on your flexibility. You're trying to stretch out the glute on that side. Two, you're also trying to stretch out your hip flexor by bringing your hip towards the floor or towards your heel. By doing that, you're stretching the hip flexor. You can get a little bit deeper in your stretch by dropping down towards your elbows or the floor, which again, it will intensify your stretch a little bit more. And if that's available to you, go right ahead. You're hanging out there for a minute total, so maybe you don't start there, you work up to that, okay? After you've done that for 1 minute, you're gonna do the other side for 1 minute, okay? Once you've completed both sides, then you're gonna go into your glute, hip stretch, and activation. So find yourself a spot on the wall. You're gonna cross over. So one heel's on the wall. You're gonna cross over. Then you're gonna lower your hips down towards the floor. As you lower your hips down to the floor, you're stretching the glute there. So while you're stretching the glute, you're gonna create some activation. So what we wanna see today is you're gonna push your knee down towards the wall, okay, which gets a little bit deeper stretch in your glute. Do that for about 10 seconds. Then you're gonna bring your knee in, where you gotta use your adductor to bring it up and in to activate that muscle. Hold that for about 10 seconds. You're gonna repeat that back and forth, about 10 seconds each position for a total of 1 minute before you switch sides. So again, this is not just a stretch. You are stretching your glute, but you're also activating your adductor, which is gonna help those hips feel a lot better start off the week and from that workout, okay? Have fun with this, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.